I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
Bill 57-23, a second reading.
5723, public hearing on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, levying taxes and fixing the rate of taxation for the purpose of raising revenue to meet the necessary expenses of the civil city of South Bend for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and appropriating monies for the purpose of defraying the expenses of the City of South Bend, Indiana for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, including all outstanding claims and obligations, and fixing a time when the same shall take effect.
The total spending for our departments, including interfund transfers, is $372,298,724. As you can recall from August when we did the budget introduction, we budgeted at an overall deficit of about $26.6 million. Currently, we are now down to $18.6 million. 12.6 of it is from the General Plus Fund, which is the funds that pays most of the city's expenses. Your general fund, the local income tax revenue funds, which are three different funds there, along with the general fund. We were able to reduce the budget due to increase in local income tax revenues and property tax revenues. We were able to reduce the budget due to increase in local income tax revenues and property tax revenues. From the projected revenues that we had in our property tax, revenues, came in about $2 million more than what we projected. And then in the local income tax revenue funds, it was a total of about $6 million more than what we projected. So compared to 2023, local income tax revenues actually increased $8 million, but it was $6 million more than what we projected in our budgeting. So, like I said, the General Plus Fund, $12.6 million deficit, down from the 18 that we were back in August, and then combined with our other funds is about a little bit under a $6 million deficit there. That shows, although we may budget for a deficit, it doesn't always turn out that way. So similar to how the mayor explained, a budgeted deficit does not mean it's a real deficit, because a lot of times we do not spend the entire budget, the entire budget that we plan for the oncoming year. So similar in 2022, $6.3 million deficit, ended up with a $2.7 million deficit, and then this budget currently, we budgeted for a $13.1 million deficit, and at mid-year it shows that we were at $2 million deficit.
State your name and address.
Yeah, it's Logan Foster, 1138 College Street. So I guess first I have a rhetorical question is, will our property taxes ever be lowered? First we heard the gentleman say we have a deficit, then we don't have a deficit. I don't believe this is a math problem. We do have a deficit. We can move funds around, and we could play money games, but we do have a deficit. The deficit is in the pockets of all the districts in South Bend. The deficit is in my bank account. It's in our bank accounts. So you guys get to sit up here. You guys will get a vote on this. But when this deficit next year, when you guys get a vote on this budget again, it'll become to how are we going to pay for it, and we'll raise property taxes. Just like, I know we can't speak on the past things, but whenever we get a vote on these things and raise funds, when we get to raise salaries, who pays for that? We have to pay for that. So we do have a deficit. And, they said a lot of words to say, I'm going to pay for that. We're all going to pay for that. And there's no answer for that. Thank you.
If I may,
Yes.
the 9 counselors that are up here, we do not raise the property taxes for the residents of the city of South Bend.
Bill 57-23, a second reading.
5723, public hearing on an ordinance of the Common Council of the City of South Bend, Indiana, levying taxes and fixing the rate of taxation for the purpose of raising revenue to meet the necessary expenses of the civil city of South Bend for the fiscal year ending December 31st, 2024, and appropriating monies for the purpose of defraying the expenses of the city of South Bend, Indiana for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2024, and ending December 31st, 2024, including all outstanding claims and obligations, and fixing a time when the same shall take effect.
Just for your information, we don't, that's not our function here.
What they said in the bill they presented was they were paying for that through property tax enforcement.
Right, but we don't,
No, right.
yeah, that's not our function to raise. That's the county is the one who does that. And the county actually is mandated by the rules of the state. I'm sure you've heard of 1, 2, 3. So there's a market rate analysis that is done on the different properties, but the values of the properties at some point are capped as per state law, and that's what the county follows. At our level here, we do get monies that come in from as a result of property taxes that help run the city of South Bend.
Is there anyone else?
There's,
I wasn't going to, but just as a rebuttal, the city does set their own tax rate separate from the county tax rate. So when he's saying our taxes go up, it is set at the city level, and that each township sets their level. So if everybody keeps raising their budgets, our taxes do go up.
Thank you. I will now entertain a motion regarding Bill 57-23.
I make a motion to send Bill 57-23 to the full council with a favorable recommendation on October the 9th.
Second?
All right, there's been a motion and a second. Clerk Jones, please call the roll.
Councilmember Lee,
Aye.
Councilmember Warner, Councilmember White, Councilmember Thomas Morgan,
Aye.
Councilmember Hammond,
Aye.
Vice President Niskowski,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis, President McBride,
Aye.
7 ayes.
All right, Bill 57-23 will be sent to the full council with a favorable recommendation.